taking it so seriously, which is great, which is what you've got to do. He kind of had a little bit of a slip up last term. He took it insanely seriously, and I've heard it from everybody who's training with him that he works harder than anybody in his gym, and it's a pretty prolific gym. So it showed tonight. He had the right game plan. He executed the game plan the right way. He didn't do exchanges, didn't let his emotions take over, didn't let back and forth with Saeed get him pulled into a punching match because you don't want to get into a training match with Saeed a lot. So I thought he played it beautifully, and I thought he showed us all his stuff. I love his leg kicks. I mean, he's not just a pure wrestler. He's got a lot of other things that he brings to the table. So I thought he looked terrific.
Tiger Sarnowski looked amazing. I mean, I think, he came in from probably the favorite most people's eyes. I don't think anyone saw him doing this Cerrone the way he did.
No, I mean, Cerrone's world class in jiu-jitsu. And his adaptation of pure jiu-jitsu for MMA is as good as it gets. I mean, Marcelo was trained. This guy's just top tier. And Tiger doesn't even consider himself a black belt. He goes, I don't specifically train jiu-jitsu. He's got submission after submission, and the triangle was amazing. The spinning back fist is obviously what set it up. The triangle was great. He's a real talent, and he's calming down inside of our cage now. So you start to see all of that unbelievable. There was so much talk about Tiger Sarnowski when he came over here, and then of course he lost to Rich, and man, he has come back with a vengeance. Sometimes it takes a loss like that to wake a guy up. He's obviously wide awake.
Do you have a date for that final?
Yeah, the 22nd in Pennsylvania in Sands.
Also,
22nd of November.
Desmond Green gets a victory, but kind of the end of it was, I know you came over behind, the other referee was there with that cut, and it looked like the referee that was calling that fight was going to let that fight continue. Did you say anything to anybody from the commission about that?
I didn't. I went over to our guys, and I said something because number one, the cut was as deep a cut as I've seen inside of our cage. Alessio's cut was deep 4 weeks ago or whatever it was, but that cut was insane. I mean, it started here, it went all the way up here, and when he opened it, it would open wide. So that's the first thing on your mind, is just fighter safety, because that's not the kind of cut that you would normally let a fight continue with. And the other thing that struck me is and look, everybody makes mistakes, but as a referee, you can't allow a cut man to come into the cage and work on a fight. The doctor's got to make a decision. That's the way the rules work. So when a cut man came in and started working on it, when the fight had yet to be called off, it struck me as odd. And I went over to our guys like, wait a second, we've seen a lot of MMA fights. That's not part of the game. So
Desmond Green, he told me this week he wanted to make a statement, get back into the tournament. Does this victory put him into the next featherweight tournament?
It sure puts him in consideration. I mean, featherweights, you and I talked about it a lot of times, featherweight's insanely deep for us. We've got a bunch of guys, top 10 guys. It's a deep division, so it's a good statement to get a win, and we'll see.
Finally, Eugene Fodora, he was coming in with somewhat of hype out of the UK. What did you think of his first U.S. performance?
I thought it was good. I thought, not a lot of guys, but sometimes guys come in the bright lights and the music and sound and the cameras kind of freak him out a bit. Seemed completely calm. In against a tough guy who's given us great fights, and he did what he needed to do and finished. I thought he looked really good.
Now, Will Brooks in the Tiger final. How do you see that one?
Wow, that's an insane fight. Tiger's got a gas tank that just will not stop. Brooks has been unbelievably impressive for literally the last few fights. So that's a tough call. I mean, look, few of the Russians that we have, just like most Europeans, don't have great wrestling, and Will Brooks' wrestling is very explosive. You saw it in the double legs tonight. Every time he needed to take Saeed down, he took him down. So, I don't know, that's a tough one to call. Tiger's got amazing hands. He can hit you from a bunch of angles. He throws a bunch of funky stuff, which you saw tonight against Maloney. So, I don't know, maybe that's an advantage of his because Will is still relatively new to the game and may not be used to where he needs to be distance-wise for those spinning back fists and all the crazy stuff that the Shlemenkos and the Tigers and people like that throw. So, tough fight to pick. I don't know. It's a pick-em fight.
Yeah, next week your fight moves from pay-per-view to Spike TV because of what happened with Tito. How difficult was it to make that announcement?
I've always said we're a free TV model, so it wasn't as difficult as you would think. Spike's awesome, and to be able to bring Alvarez versus Chandler to King Mo versus Newton to revenge match, the biggest upset that happened last year in MMA, and Strauss versus Curran for the world title, and Fight Master finale all for free on a fight that on a card that everybody thought they were going to pay for is cool. It's great for fans. When I make announcements like that, I try to take the hat off of the CEO and just go, if I was a fan, would I think this was cool? And I would think that would be great. So from a fan perspective, fans have been awesome to us and supported the brand, so we can give an incredible show like that, keep the card together, not flush it because it's not on pay-per-view, and keep it going and put on 3 world title fights. It's going to be an incredible night. It'll be great.
Eddie Larrea, the submission went tonight with the heel hook over Rocky, who's a tough veteran. What did you think of that performance?
It was impressive. It was impressive, and it's those kind of fights that guys have got to use to make a statement here. You know what I mean? Guys have got to use those. We put fights together specifically to watch guys, and when you have an impressive victory like that, guys take notice. Our talent development teams take notice. So it was a good win.
Eddie's a small middleweight. Have you guys talked to him about possibly dropping to welterweight?
I don't know if Zach or Sam have had those conversations. He is a little bit small, and our middles and our welters are monsters who cut tree trunk weight off. So, I'm sure that's something that would probably be wise for him to give a little bit of consideration to. Guys got to make their own calls on that.
Start off the night, Steve Garcia, second fight of his career, got the huge win over Sean Bunch. What did you think of that fight?
That was a shocker. I mean, Bunch comes out of an amazing pedigree. We've had incredible luck with wrestlers, but that's a big, big win. I mean, Bunch is been riding a wave of enthusiasm in terms of his development process. So to beat a guy like that, especially the way he did, that's a huge win. That's a big, big win. That's a hello everybody, I'm here type of win.
Back to the pay-per-view. There's a rumor that Attila Veg was asked to fight. Can you confirm that rumor?
Yeah, it's not a rumor. I was the one who asked him. I pulled him out of Eastern Europe about 6 weeks ago to come to American Top Team and start training. The thought process was really that he was ready. He wasn't as ready as he wanted to be, but I thought having him as a backup in case Emmanuel Newton or King Mo went down would be a great idea. We're not going to need a Mo and Newton are ready to go, but you never. I shouldn't even say it. It's like we're talking about rate before you go to golf. But in the off chance something were to happen to one of those guys, he'd be ready to go. And we're paying him handsomely to be ready and to be on weight. He's a rock star. He's a great fighter, and I can't wait. Hopefully the Newton fight against Mo is incredible, and then we get to see Veg fight the winner, defending his title.
All right. And then as far as Eddie Alvarez, the change from pay-per-view to free TV, does that put a strain on that relationship at all?
No.
And have you talked to him?
No, Ed and I don't spend an amazing amount of time on the phone. But he's a main event on a huge card that's going to do enormous numbers. It's going to be great for his brand. He's probably one of the top 7 or 8 lightweights in the world. I think Mike's the best lightweight in the world. It's going to be an incredible fight. It doesn't impact his deal structure, but it gives him an opportunity to show his incredible stand-up, his amazing speed, his great knockout power, a huge audience, 130 countries around the world. So it's a good opportunity for Ed. It's a magical opportunity for Mike to face one of the best guys in the world. So it's going to be an insane fight. We're good. I'm good. Yeah, I can keep talking. Then I'm going to go to sleep for like 3 days.
Bjorn, can you kind of give the timeline?
First to us in this market. He just did a show with us in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, which was incredible, and fed some of the guys that they developed on their shows into that show. So great guys, great feeder system.
Is that something you guys look forward to developing in the future?
With them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like more in depth?
Great guys. I mean, great guys put together great shows and deliver on everything they promise, which is not always the case in the combat sports industry with their rock stars. So yeah, we'll keep working. We'll see. We just we'll see what happens. I mean, the plan is still to do pay-per-views, but we're a free TV model, and we make money as a free TV model, and with our 130 different relationships around the world, and our sponsors, our merchandising, our licensing deals, and our incredible deal with Spike and Viacom, we do real well on that front. So we'll see. Obviously, there's some great fighters here now that are on the cusp of reaching that level. Michael Chandler, Pat Curran, and Rampage Jackson, who's obviously already been there, but I think we'll show that he's back to being the old Rampage, the howl, the smash and the slam. So, we'll see.